What is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great early spring 2022. Thanks for tuning into the Move OTX channel here. We are at the Shoreline Park area kite field. And this is a designated parking, kind of a family area for kite flying. And the reason why you're not seeing any kite flyers out here is the mornings, the air is just completely silent and completely still. It doesn't get really windy and gusty out here until the afternoons. So that's why we are here, because I can't film in these windy conditions in the afternoons. So we're starting our hike off today here with a good old-fashioned Costco hot dog with all the fixins, a soda, best $1.50 you can spend before your hike. And yeah, that's how we're rolling today. So I'm going to take you guys out from the kite field out to the rifle range, the duck hunting range, and I want to spend a deeper time, more detailed time, talking about a new section of trail that just was recently unlocked. Okay, so let's scarf this beauty down and let's get on out there. We're all refueled, re-energized, and we're starting off here at the main kite field. I know there's not too many people flying kites, but that's because it's not too windy right now. So we're going to get gusts of wind out here. I'm hoping not too much. Hopefully I'm early enough in the day so that my microphone audio doesn't get blown out. But we'll see. It's going to get windier and windier as we progress. So I filmed this before, and I've shown you guys this part of the hike before, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I hope my camera is doing this justice, because it is an absolutely stunningly gorgeous day today in the Bay Area. So you can see some of the hillsides, hilltops around that area. You can hike up there on top of those hills. That's a pretty common hike as well. But we're going to go out this way towards the water. All smiles, full, fat and happy, got a fat belly, full of Costco goodness, and we're making our way, all smiles. Alrighty guys, so we've reached the end of the kite field area over there, and we need to cross a couple bridges to get to where we're going. A lot of people out on the trails today, and it's going to be like that. A beautiful, beautiful day like today. I know a lot of you guys look to hiking and trail adventures as kind of a way for solitude, to find solitude, but when these trails are this beautiful and this easily accessible, you just kind of have to learn to share them, I guess. But that's where we're going, straight on out that way. Ooh, and we have a high tide situation, which is going back out based on the current flow. Which is cool, because which is cool for us because this creek can get pretty empty on a low tide scenario. So this will make for some better video. And this is kind of the junkyard of the end of Moffett Airfield, NASA Ames Moffett Airfield. So Moffett was an active Air Force military base through much of the 50s, 60s, 70s, early 80s. So it was decommissioned decades ago in that sense, but they still run various forms of National Guard and military training out of this site. So it's not uncommon during the middle of the week to see F-15s. I think F-15s, it's hard to tell, either F-15s or F-18s, but they run C-130 training. I've seen C-17 training here. C-130s are cool when they do parachute cargo drops, practicing at the facility. I've seen Blackhawks as well perform various aerial maneuvers and training routines. So it's a pretty interesting place for sure. Can't imagine how active it must have been as an active Air Force base. I mean, this must have been a pretty routine air show out here during those times. That was more of a Cold War thing, I believe. So all these various water bodies and waterways out here are the result of the tide scenario with the bay. So the San Francisco Bay pretty regularly and routinely oscillates between high and low tide environments all the time. And so what you're seeing here is the result of a high tide scenario where all the overflow and the water inlet allows this flow to come inland a bit and basically protects the Bay Area from water floods. So in the 40s and 50s, I think, parts of Palo Alto were actually flooded routinely because it's actually either at or below sea level slightly. And they had to, at the time, construct various waterway relief programs and municipal infrastructure to prevent that and to stop that. So all this you're seeing here is, I think, the result of some of that. So the Blue Angels used to do an air show out of Moffett when I was a kid, and we go to that air show all the time. We used to ride our bikes there, actually. But now they don't do that anymore. Now they have Fleet Week up in San Francisco, and that's the annual Blue Angel show for the Bay Area. So if you're into bird watching, this is absolutely a mecca for you guys. Lots of breeds of heron out and about on the water, ducks of various types, pelicans too later in the spring. I don't see any pelicans now. I think the pelicans basically follow the food sources. So if we get sardines or anchovies or whatever coming into the bay, the pelicans are naturally going to follow that. A lot of ducks out right now. So, in fact, we're coming up here on the duck hunting rifle range, which is off season for now. So duck hunting goes from, I think, October through early February, so it kind of just ended. But as a result, the waters are just loaded with ducks everywhere. So we're making our way. So now we're entering into the rifle range, the duck hunting rifle range area. And during the hunting season, you'll see this road pretty crowded with vehicles and hunters who've driven in and hunt ducks across the water. So that is Stevens Creek to our left, and that's where we're headed. Still smiles, all smiles, not tired, easy hike. If you're a novice hiker, or maybe you're coming off a leg or a foot injury, bucket list this one. Great hike for that type of scenario. Or if you just want a quick, simple, easy hike, this is the one to do, I think. Parking is free, and parking's actually easy to get too. That kite field parking lot I showed you earlier, that can fill up Saturday afternoons, but just across the fence line area is a dog park, and that never gets full. So you can park at the dog park area and easily hike in a couple hundred yards, maybe 100 yards into that kite field area very easily. So I've had to do that a couple times. I guess people just don't know about the dog park, or with so many dog-friendly trails in the vicinity, I think they probably choose to take their dogs elsewhere. That'd be my guess. Alrighty guys, so keeping it real, absolutely, in-field, real life, you never know what you're going to find out here. And that's why I do these hikes. Every time I'm out on these trails, there's something different, something dynamic, something good or bad. Okay, and so that's where we're at here today. Just took a few minutes to talk to a trail runner who doubled back and came back here this way. And as I had feared, the fence area is locked and I can't get past it. They obviously don't want people coming out here too far out beyond a certain point. Hopefully that'll change, but I doubt it. Okay, so once again, Stevens Creek is as gorgeous as always. It's flowing, it's full. High tide conditions have swelled up the creek, and that's making for a stunning backdrop. Alrighty guys, so we are coming up on the end of Stevens Creek, and I thought the tide was receding, but now I don't think so. We've got some current flow. Looks like it's going both ways. I apologize about the wind noise. This is actually pretty still out here, so as far as wind goes, but it's a little bit breezier out here. But this is the data point that I've been hoping to show you guys. And you know what? I just walked past this completely gorgeous, stunningly beautiful array of flowers. So fixated on my destination that I missed the journey. Unbelievable. I still do that every now and then. I catch myself every now and then. And that's the lesson here. If you're so fixated on the destination, you can miss the journey. And that's a life lesson. Total life lesson. And these flowers were not in bloom the last time I was here. They're beautiful. Look at that. Really hope my camera does that justice. But this is the section of trail that up until I think this weekend or sometime this week, this was open and easily accessible. And as you can see, it is locked, and they clearly don't want people going past this point. So I was able to hike this last weekend, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll in some still footage, and we'll do a slideshow with some post commentary by myself along the way, and that's the best we can do. I actually, let me put this here through the fence. I actually made my way out about a good 3 miles or so along that trail loop underneath those electrical wire towers, and I did part of that loop going back towards the Shoreline area. Alrighty guys, so this begins our slideshow. This first picture is right on the other side of that gate, and very quickly here I came upon various water inlet and outlet valves, and here's the first valve on the left. Pretty cool, totally accessible. And here's the valve on the other side, kind of on the right. I'm looking back at this point, back along the trail, but those both are easily accessible along the trail. So here's the end of the paved part of the trail. Towards the right is a dirt path, and towards the left is another dirt path. And this is kind of my Neil Armstrong moment. So there's my 2 footprints in some brand new untraversed trail. And here's an old, rickety old water inlet valve. Pretty cool. And this view here is that dirt trail leading off west towards the Moffett Airfield area. And here's just a quick picture of me playing around. So as always guys, thanks for tuning into the Move OTX channel here today. Hope you guys had a great adventure with me. Even though we had to cut things short, still had a great time. Just a gorgeous setting here for just an afternoon day hike. Ran into some nice trail runners along the way, chit-chatted, and we took things pretty easy here. So thanks for sitting through the slideshow part of this video, and hopefully maybe someday I'll be able to take you guys on through this fence, on out there to those parts of the trails that I showed in my still images. Till then, keep it saucy everyone. I'll catch you guys later. Remember everybody, stay safe, enjoy the outdoors, and I'll catch you all on the next one.